All right, let's see. Guys, good morning. Can you hear me, guys? I think we have around 49 viewers right now. Can you maybe type a little yes in the chat if you can hear me? Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, all right, all right. I think there is a little bit of a delay because I'm speaking and then you respond like after after 2 minutes. So that's kind of strange. But yeah, thank you so much. Thanks so much, guys. All right. I think it's working right now. I don't see the chat though, so I have to be like constantly scrolling between the chat and also my charts. So that is not very great, but I'm gonna be learning. So this is my first time streaming. I think it's gonna be a great idea to do this in the form of a stream. So I can still do the Tuesday analysis, but then we can have a little bit of time for questions. Maybe we're gonna take a live trade. Who knows? I don't think it's gonna be today, but we could definitely be taking some live trades as well. And yeah, I think without further ado, let's actually jump onto the charts. I want to test out a couple of things because I've been learning how to stream. So for example, right now I'm gonna just try to log in my intro. So let's give it a go and then we're gonna get started. All right, so hopefully that went in. I'm just gonna make my screen full screen right now. And again, guys, I'm not looking at the chat right now simply because I cannot see it. So hopefully you're seeing my screen. Hopefully this goes without an error too much. So as you know, in these videos, we are just pretty straightforward. We just jump on the charts, have a look how the market opens on Monday and how we can adapt from what we analyzed on Saturday. You know, I always tell you that I usually don't like doing like very comprehensive analysis on Saturday and Sunday because again, Monday opens and everything just gets invalidated and you pretty much have to analyze again, right? So I take it pretty easy on the weekends. Of course, we have the weekly outlook, which serves mainly to review the week, to see what the price did that week. And then of course, to try to throw a couple of longer term projections. But again, I think I'm going to ask you some questions later to see how many of you are like day traders trading on the 50-minute time frame and lower, how many of you are swing traders. So we're going to get to that. But for day traders, which I am a day trader, then to me, all that matters is like the 4-hourly and the 15-minute time frame. And those time frames tend to change very often, right? So if we're looking at like the weekly and the daily, we can be throwing big projections, potentially expecting price to do something. But in terms of the 15-minute and the 4-hourly time frame, the market tends to change very often right there. So again, the biggest skill, according to me, is flowing with the markets, learning how to do that, right? Just following what is happening, not throwing any projections, not trying to forecast what is happening, but actually being on the charts and just flowing with it. So this week, I want to start first with just a little bit of a fundamental outlook. By the way, I am planning something else for you. The mentor of the Fanatic community, Hash, he's really great with fundamentals, and we also plan to have a little fundamental session for you. So we're looking at the economic calendar, we're looking at the macro economics, and there is some great knowledge to be shared. So let me know if you would actually love this in the form of a stream. But just to give you a little breakdown, so if I just quickly jump on my other screen, you can see today we don't have much. In fact, this week we don't have many kind of important news to be worried about, which we should always be aware of, right? So if I just make a little filter to remove the low impact news, right, come on, there we go. So you can see yesterday was a bank holiday, so it was a rather slow day. London provided some moves. We started our week with 2 losses in the community. Some members took a little win later. I'm going to show you on your USD. But Martin Luther King's birthday yesterday, and today we're starting with some CPI news releases. Like we have a CPI for Germany, we have a CPI for Italy, which is pretty good. But nothing like very major to be worried about. So we have CPI for CAT, right? This goes for the CAT traders, and this can also influence the DXY because you know the DXY is a basket of currencies and CAT has like a percentage inside. So if the CAT like moves, then the DXY is also going to get impacted. But apart from that, and like this, yeah, pretty much that's it for today. Tomorrow we have like a press conference for Bank of Japan, monetary policy statement. So they're probably not going to do something different, but it's very important to monitor like the press conference and their statements, or what exactly are they going to do, right? This is going to impact the yen. We're going to have a look at the yen and potentially try to forecast where could those news send the market to. And yeah, pretty much Thursday as well, nothing very much, right? We have unemployment rate for the Aussie, nothing like here. Initial jobless claims, very good. I really like this week because we have some news like retail sales right there for the cat. We have some news, but those news are not very major, which always throws in a little bit of volume into the market to hopefully get our trades to take profit. So going on to the Dixie, you can see my projections from Saturday. Right, we were expecting either a pullback into the highs to take a short to take out this high, or a break to the downside, right, and then a pullback, lower high, and a continuation down. So pretty much this is the scenario that we're currently seeing play out. The market again opened, so this is no longer relevant. The market opened right there, and actually on Sunday, just the Sunday open, we just boop, we made a new break of structure lower. So let's mark this out. Then we have a new fib range. So if I just do, oops, this is the wrong one. So if I just draw my fibs, right? Come on. There's our fibs. So as you can see, I'm always preaching like trading above the 50%. What is 50%? It's pretty much the equilibrium. This is where the market is considered to be balanced, right? If it's below the 50%, then it's considered to be cheap. So potentially we can go long from this kind of area right there. And as it goes above the 50%, we're getting into premium, where price is getting expensive. And you know what is pretty much the aim of trading? It's to sell high, right? To sell when the market is expensive, and then to buy it back low when it's cheap, right? And currently we are retesting this very extreme level on the DXY, which is this wick, which has created the major lower high, right? What I usually do is I mark them out like this, right? So this is going to be red. That's going to be red, and we pretty much have our range. The market is pulling back, and what I don't like right now is that we're starting to chop around a little bit. So I am bearish on the dollar today. So right now we're just going to jump on the 50-minute time frame, and let's have a look what is happening. So I would love to keep this more interactive. Maybe actually Zoom could be a better idea to host those. We're going to see, but again, if you just look at the structure, right, there are so many ways to kind of analyze it, right? Some of you might say that this here is a break of structure down. Some of you might say that this is your valid range. Some of you might say that this is the one. For me, it's this guy right there. So pretty much right now on the 50-minute, we are trading within this range. So as you can see, what I just told you about the 50%, the market pushes, it's expensive, pulls back to 50%, taps it, and then starts to respond. But what we have right now is a complete consolidation, right? And as you can see, the market hasn't yet broken above this high. So what I'm projecting right now for today is pretty much two things. And there is one thing that I would really love to happen, which is to actually go ahead and take out this high, then potentially align bearish on the 50 minutes so we can start going short with the bearish forward time frame, right? Because right now, if you start marking out structure, everything is going to be pretty much internal. Right, everything is going to be internal. Like if you mark this as a break of structure, that's incorrect, because this is your major low, this is your major high, and everything in between is just internal. So pretty much my forecast for today is I am not touching the DXY and I'm not touching EU until they both break their external range. Right, so if this one right now goes here and starts doing stuff like this, I am not trading it. Right, I could be taking a long, right? So for example, in this case, we're responding from this little zone. So if we come in right there and start responding, maybe there could be a long, but it's a low probability. Why? Well, because the market already pulled back above 50% on the forward time frame. It tapped into supply zone, and the 50-minute right now is pretty much a little bit high, right, in terms of the voyage. So you don't want to go long when the market is short and it has already pulled back into supply and into premium. Okay. So pretty much those are my two outlooks for today. It's going to be a boring Tuesday. Hopefully later today we're going to have some moves, but this is how I currently view the DXY. So that's it. Let me just go to the chat to actually see if everything is smooth. No worries. Try StreamYard for easier streaming. Okay, thanks so much for that, Bisman. I'm going to check this app out. We love to learn fundamental. Beautiful. All right, so you guys are actually hearing me well, so I can immediately go to the charts. All right. Here is my baby, Mr. Euro USD, who hasn't been doing amazing in the recent kind of weeks, right? So I'm pretty much started my year last week and I took 2 losses, and this Monday greeted me with another 2 losses. So Euro USD is not giving me the love, but it's gonna start giving it pretty soon. Again, it's just January, the market is just starting out, and we're starting to have some nice trending markets, which is amazing. So hopefully it's gonna be getting better and better. Again, Monday opened, boom, just straight break to the upside, creating a new high. So once again, what I suggest you always do is, especially if you're, I don't want to say beginner, but especially if you're just like starting to master market structure, I always suggest like marking it like this, even going on, like picking text and then saying that this is a high, right? Then going on right there and then saying that this is a high, right? So always do this in order to learn structure. So what we have right now is again similar to the Dixie, just flipped around. We have a new range, the market pushed, it's pulling back, and what are we having right now is a little bit of a chop, right? So let me show you a little bit of a detail once again. So very similarly to the Dixie, the current range on Euro USD according to me is this guy. So what we had yesterday was the market retesting 50% and retesting this little supply, and the loss we took in the community was from this little zone, right? So why did we take a long from there? It was because again the 4-hourly was bullish, so this is where we broke. This is the last 15-minute demand zone, right? It also pulled back roughly around 50% on the 4-hourly time frame, but not as much, so it was not a very high probability trade. The main reason being is that this demand zone formed pretty much on market open. Then the market pushed and we have a whole Asian session pushing up, then we have a whole Asian session kind of pulling back down, then we have a whole Frankfurt open coming inside this zone, right? So the time that the market took to come and retest this zone is pretty much 8 hours, right? And usually older zones like this do not work very nice, especially when you have like massive momentum coming down. But we had our rules met right there after this candle rejected, so we took a long and we lost it. Then the market reversed down. There was a short right there, but you should have taken like 2 losses before you take the win. Luckily, Mihai from my community took actually a short right there, wrote it down. And then since then, what do we have is just a little bit of a chop, right? So this is our major lower low. So again, going back to the Dixie, what I would love to see is for this low to get taken and for us to then start aligning bullish. So take out this low, align bullish, and then start going for the high. Because what are we having right now is just like a very big internal structure within this 15-minute minor structure, right? So there is nothing too much to trade, right? So right now what you can be doing is you can be zooming in and you can be like, okay, this is still like a supply zone. We came in, we took out the Asian high, which is good. Then we aligned this structure bearish, but it is incorrect to say that this is kind of a breakout structure or a trend change, because all of this is internal. And internally, there are no like trend changes, there is nothing. It's just moving sideways, right? But still, if you zoom in, you can start doing stuff like, okay, so here we broke up, we broke down, we broke up, broke down, broke up, right? Down, up, down. It's everywhere. So it's just a big range, right? But what currently makes a little bit of sense is for us to say, yeah, look at that momentum that was introduced right there. We're currently retesting and you can be looking for a short, although this again is an invalid trade. So if you can be going on the 1 minute right now, you're going to be looking for the 1 minute to start aligning, right? We're going to be taking this double top right now as liquidity, which is great, right? So right now, if the market starts to kind of reverse and start forming bearish structure on the 1 minute, that is when you are allowed to take a trade, right? A lot of aggressive traders could already be shorting from here, right? But again, this is an invalid trade according to my rules because we're simply trading internal structure. Okay, so again, guys, Euro USD, pretty boring, right? We're just in this range. And if this market starts going up from here and then doing stuff like this, it's going to be very boring because once again, this is the range, right? And I do not want to short this market because we already pulled back into the 4-hourly higher low and we should be pushing towards the new higher high, right? But I cannot long this market because the 50-minute is bearish until we break this one. So this is a rather shitty situation right now. This is why we immediately skip the pair and go to another one. So let's continue. I'm going to get back to it later. Let's have a look at what is happening with Euro Yen. So yeah, if you remember guys, the yen pairs, they're all in a big push, right? They're all in a big push. They're all traveling towards the 4-hourly lower low, which is right there. And as I mentioned in the weekly outlooks, there is no way for us to determine where it's gonna stop, right? So where is it gonna respond? And I just very simply drew this little zone right there. You can see the market tapped, responded, but eventually broke it. So this zone is immediately invalid, right? And yeah, pretty much we also don't have like a real range to draw right there. This is invalid because it's not like a valid range. Why? Because you can see this whole push, it has all bearish candles right there, and it pretty much does not have any pullbacks. The major lower high is this guy right there, and as you can see, the market usually stays below the major lower highs, respected it, and right now it's pushing down. So we are still kind of trading within this range. The market pulled all the way down, and right now we're pushing down, right? So what you can do in this case is you can be focusing like on a time frame like the hourly time frame maybe, and looking for the hourly time frame to kind of shift its minor structure, right? But what I would do is like the 15-minute, but let's check out if you could have taken some losses yesterday. Yeah, but you can see here the market aligned bullish. Yeah, no, pretty much yesterday was entirely bullish on euro yen, so you shouldn't have taken any shorts. Right now the market pulled back, and as you can see, it broke structure here, it broke structure down right there. So it could start giving some shorts, break up, break down, retest of what caused the break, and right now it's giving us a nice reaction bearish, right? So that is good. It's not yet like the highest probability to me, but if it right now starts trending nicely down, then I do think it will be good to start considering shorts. But again, usually for me to take a short, I will need to be like in a premium of the 4-hourly range, which we are currently not. But again, keeping in mind, we are currently traveling towards the lower low. So I guess any short you can find on the yen pairs is going to be a good one, right? So in this case, the market retested right there, and you can be dropping on the 1 minute to be looking for entries. First of all, it collected all of this liquidity, right? So this is flat price action. It collected all of it on this push. And you can see, for example, here it aligned bearish, and you are probably going to be taking a loss from here, right? You pretty much became the liquidity, but then you should not give up. The market again aligns bearish down. There is your next trade. You take that one, right? What's the time of this one? Okay, 8 o'clock. So not bad. Frankfurt open. You take this one, and just right now you kind of could have nailed the trade, right? So personally, so I'm starting to give you some tips. Personally, I take 2 hits from a supply and demand zone. So if I take a stop loss on the first trade, I'm going to enter 1 more, right? And then if the second one is a stop loss, then I'm just going to cut it, right? So in this case on EJ, we took 1 loss, then we took the second one. It was a win, so we are positive. So right now we're breaking this structure right there after we aligned bearish. So to me, the bearish alignment was right there, which I call a trend change. A lot of you call it choch and stuff like this. We pulled back. Right now we're breaking back down. So we have to find, okay, what is the zone that caused this breakdown? So it's a little bit tricky because it's all kind of wicky and stuff. But yeah, pretty much I'm going to draw it like this. And if the market returns back to the zone and again starts to align bearish, then I'm going to continue shorting it, potentially targets towards the Asian low. So again, euro yen, very bearish. Any opportunity that you get to short the market is going to be good. So let me just very quickly go to the chat. How can I, guys, any of you know how can I pull out your chat on my screen? Can you check BTC? Yes. It looks boring. Bullish GBP. Yeah, we're going to go through all the pairs, right? As we usually do. We're already 20 minutes into it, so I might have to rush it a little bit because I speak too much when I jump live. So let's get more focused. So Aussie dollar, next on the list are the Aussies. What did I expect here is a breakup and then a massive breakdown and then to go bearish. So why am I expecting a bearish Aussie? I don't remember. Probably there is something on the left that I'm looking at. But if we just delete everything right there and do it from the beginning, we have a break of structure up right there. That still happened on Sunday. Monday, we have a new supply zone. The market is tapping and we're starting to chop around a little bit. So immediately dropping onto the 15-minute time frame. Same boring price action as we have on EU and the DXY. This is the major lower high right now. This is the 50-minute range we're tapping into, but also keeping into account we're tapping into a 4-hourly demand zone, which is very important. And we can right now be starting to travel towards the 4-hourly high, which is right there. But to me, in order for me to take a long trade, then I will need to have like the 50-minute aligned with the FOIC. And currently the 50-minute is bearish, responding from this little supply or resistance, right? And you can see it came in, responded, it failed to take out the low, which means that this immediately becomes weak. Then we come in, take this one, reverse down, pull back, try to push, failed, try to push again, pull back, try to push again. We actually took out the low, right? But again, this is all internal. So always remember, this is the push. Everything inside is just nonsense, right? All you're looking for is to get a short setup from this zone, right? But you don't look at like, yeah, this is bullish, this is bearish, this is bullish, this is bearish. No, it's just like internal alignments. And as you can see, we took out the low, but right now we're massively coming inside again. So pretty much, am I gonna trade this one? Definitely not, right? Because you can see here, it tried to push down, failed. Came in again, tried, failed. Try it again, looks like it's failing, right? So to me, two scenarios on this pair. If we break above this guy, I'm becoming bullish and I'm gonna start looking for the longs, right? And the next situation is that somehow we come in again and we respect, and then we take out the low. If we take out the low, then again, I'm still gonna be looking for a bullish alignment and going with the hourly trend, right? So there are my two outcomes on the Aussie dollar. Currently, not looking to trade anything. Aussie yen, let's have a look. So yeah, what is this rectangle right there? I'm really not sure. So once again, this is a short bias market right now, heavily short, because we also pull back into a daily zone. We tapped into a refined hourly zone as well. And right now we are kind of aligning internally bearish, and we have this push. And right now we're in this very nice and corrective price action. So if we just mark out this range right here, we could be looking for the market to retest the 50%. Although again, this range is not very valid because it's not a major range. But yeah, so if you wish, like the highest probability, I think for the AJs is to draw a range like this and then wait for around 50%. Because again, guys, we never know where this is gonna stop, right? And it could give us a couple of losses before it actually goes down. So yesterday, for example, oh, no. Yesterday, you are not trading this pair. So if I hear anybody has traded AJ yesterday, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna show you how to trade. We break up structure right now, so we are technically going bullish. This is the last demand zone. So again, this is currently bullish on the 50-minute, right? You can actually be looking for a long trade right now towards the 50%, but this is again counter trend, so you don't want to do this way too much. So again, two scenarios on Aussie JPY. I usually give you two scenarios because usually we have two scenarios. We either hold or we either break. A long trade from here, taking out the Asian high and continuing higher towards like the 50%. Or if we break below this zone, that is going to be a trend change. And then potentially we can start looking for the shorts to continue with this overall hourly trend, right? So that's AJ. You can be going right now on the 1 minute. I think it has collected definitely enough of liquidity, right? Have a look at all this flat price action. First, it gave you a reaction to trick people into longs, right? And yeah, it actually took liquidity. So this one is very, very, very bad if somebody took a long from here. Going down right now, so you have to be looking for the 1 minute to align bullish in order for you to take a trade, which we do not have right now. So we're not rushing. NZUSD, probably it's going to be boring as well. Yeah, on this one, this is the scenario for going bearish. This is the scenario for actually breaking up and then pulling back for a new higher low. This is what we precisely have right now. So we can move our demand zone to this type of demand zone. This is our major higher low right now. We have a breakout structure up as well. And let's see how the range is looking like here. Okay, well, unlike the other pairs, you can see this one. This is the last 50-minute lower high. It caused the break right there. So I get this question a lot. Do you count wicks as breaks? Yes. So I count wicks as breaks. I've backtested enough. It works great for me. Because again, if you have this level right there, so the high of this candle is, I'm looking right there at the H value. The high of this candle is 998, right? So this is supposed to be strong. So if this 998 is violated by, let's say 999 by 1 pipette, then I consider this a break because it didn't hold, right? But then you're going to ask, okay, well, how do you then differentiate between liquidity grabs and breaks of structure? Well, you never know when a liquidity grab is going to be a liquidity grab, right? So say we have a structure like this. There is this, right? So according to me, this is a break, right? And you're only gonna know if it's liquidity grab if it then goes down and breaks structure, right? So this is how I see liquidity grabs, right? So I'm not trying to catch the top by forecasting that this is a liquidity grab, because then to me this becomes a major higher high, and then I'm going to be looking to long from the major higher low. Usually when you have a break of structure, you have a reaction, as we had right there. So we took out the structure and then we went on, but what did we do is we formed a new higher low, right? Exactly what I said. So there is, yeah, we can probably go to an hourly time frame or maybe even 30 minutes to draw a zone. We tapped inside, we failed to push, we came in. Respectively, if a low fails to take out the high, it becomes liquidity. We took the liquidity, right? And then we went on and made a new higher high, right? So we can see NZUSD starting to trend nicely. Then we had like a break of structure up, I think, or did we? Yeah, so you can see, great example right there. The market took it out. So this to me is a break. Then this to me is a bearish break, right? But in this case, this little guy looks like a liquidity grab, because liquidity grab went down and right now we're going up. But even if this happens, I'm going to be looking for a short right there, but I'm 100% sure that there is no short setup on the 1 minute. And this is why I always wait for confirmation. You can see the 1 minute was just simply going up. So even though I had the wrong 50-minute direction, I didn't take any trades. So what do we have right now is we have again a 50-minute alignment. So I'm going to be dropping my zone, which doesn't look great. Oops. Yeah, it looks like a pretty big zone. I'm going to keep it big like this. And then I'm just going to be looking for the market to pull me back into the zone, give me the alignment that I'm looking for, and then I'm going to be longing on NZUSD. So guys, today NZUSD looks pretty good because it's the only pair that is actually aligned bullish on the 50-minute from a 4-hourly demand zone. So if you're trading something, then I think NZUSD will be worth to have a look at. NJ, I'm not even going to look at it. It again is just pulling back. My forecast is going great so far with my funny arrows. But yeah, so many things we can do in this one. We can draw a range. We can start expecting the 50% to tap, or any 15-minute bearish alignment could be a potential short opportunity. But as you can see, yesterday we had a bearish alignment. Okay, we didn't have it. I think, did this one break? Let me be precise. No, it didn't break, so we didn't have an alignment, but here we had one. Yeah, you can see there we had one, but then the market immediately breaks back structure up, so you don't even get an opportunity to short. And right now we are pretty much again massively bullish. This is our last demand zone which we're respecting. So if we break below this one, then you can say we're going short. But again, keeping in mind the strength of the NZD, I think NZD JPY is going to have a hard time flushing down. So again, the JPYs are a little bit tough to trade right now, so make sure to take this in mind. Yeah, you can see UJ. So this is pretty much the dictator of the JPYs, right? So it's currently pulling back towards this little, you can see here, this is a base supply. So I'm very soon going to be making series where I teach you like all the fundamentals of the market and technical analysis. I'm going to teach you about supply and demand zones. And this is pretty much one of them, right? That's when you have a massive drop, the market bases for a while, and then it impulses again, right? And usually you're going to see this base by a couple of, sometimes it could be just one, right? A base candle. So it stopped right there, reacted, stopped again, and then just continued to drop. So this is a pretty good supply zone, and this is what I expected the market to do, to come into the supply zone and then to start like maybe aligning a little bit. So if we have a look at it right now, the 50-minute was bullish, so that was the higher low. The market pushed, it pulled back. It actually gave us a long yesterday, then tried to push, it failed, pulled back to grab a little bit of liquidity, and then we went on and made the new 50-minute higher high. So if you actually zoom in to see what is happening here, we took out the high, we took out the low, and then if we draw this supply zone, so yeah, I think I saw a similar short on, I think it was AJ. No, I'm wrong. Which had a short? Okay, forgot. Maybe it's another pair. But yeah, so this is what we currently have on this one. I think there was a pair that there was a similar short like this, responded very nicely down, right? Break structure, was it EJ? Yeah, it was EJ, so there it is. Break up, break down, responded, made a new lower low. So you can see EJ and UJ are nicely correlated right now. So currently, this is our supply zone. So if it happens that the market pulls back inside and give us our entry model on the 1 minute, then we're going to be looking to short. this pair. Why? Well, because we're in a 4-hourly supply on this one, which is pretty good, right? We have aligned the bearish right now on the 15-minute. So I'm personally going to be looking to short USDN. But once again, guys, don't forget that, when was it? Tomorrow, Wednesday. Tomorrow, we're having monetary policy statement, outlook reports, press conferences, and interest rate decision. So again, don't go too hard on USD/JPY, right? Because it can do many things. Probably it's gonna just chop around right there until the news reports, and it's gonna liquidate, and then it's gonna do what it's gonna do. So watch out. Okay. UCAT. So what I said on UCAT is that, again, according to my rules, this is a break of structure up, and although we're responding from supply zone, the supply could just be a response in order for the market to continue carrying on to the upside, right? So you can see on Monday we held for a little bit, right? We held, but right now, similar to like overall, like the DXY, we have Euro USD as well. The USD pairs are a little bit of a chop, right? So you can see we're having this chop, but again, to my rules, this is a bullish 4-hourly market. It's not the best, but it's still bullish. And then just opening the 50-minute, yeah, we pull back, we aligned right here. What caused the alignment? It was this, right? So this is where we should be longing from, right? And yeah, at the end of the day, the market actually ended up making a new high. Then what caused the new high? It is this guy right there. And currently we're just responding from this demand, but I just want you to look at it, right? Oh, actually it went on and broke structure again. So currently our demand is actually this one, and it could just be providing a long opportunity. So as you can see, we could have gotten one long on UCAD yesterday, one long during Asian session, which we usually don't do. And right now we pushed up, we grabbed Asian high liquidity, which is usually not good because the market can start reversing right now. But currently we're sitting inside this higher low, and you can be dropping on the 1-minute time frame right now to be looking for, yeah, it actually looks like it aligned right there. So you can already be kind of looking to long this market, like something like this, or with a little bit of a pullback. Okay, so I'm not trading UCAT, so I'm not sure if this one moves very nicely during London session. This is not signals, right? But according to just following the most recent structure, that could be a good long opportunity. The only thing I don't like is that we took out the Asian high, we massively rejected from the upside, right? It could start like taking all of this big trend line right there. So watch this out. Okay. So that's UCAT. Just very quickly to check out the chat. GBP. All right. You guys really want GBP. So let's go on to the GBP. Do you guys trade the pound? You probably do. Everybody loves the pound. It's only me that doesn't love it because it's too fast. So GBP. Two scenarios that I had on this one, right? The first one being this, right? The break of structure above, pullback for a higher low, and then a continuation, which looks like it's playing out because this one did not. So that's pretty good. Right now, this is our major higher low formation, right? So if I just take out a little demand zone, well, guys, very similar. All the USD pairs like Euro USD, Aussie USD, GBP USD, they are currently the same, right? They're all bullish on the foliage. They're all into a demand zone, and they're all starting to kind of stack up on the 50-minute right now. So what I really like this one because this is the only pair. So this is why sometimes the pound is good. This is the only pair that actually went on and took out the low in order to create a lower low, and then it aligns bullish. So that's very, very, very good, right? You can see if I just go to like Euro USD, this one is like didn't take out the low. Aussie dollar still hasn't taken the low. So very interestingly, GBP USD is the only pair that actually took out the low, and right now it aligned bullish. So you have the green light to long this market, right? There's a little detail about this one. This actually to me will be a potential longing opportunity, but this right here would be a very strong demand zone. So if we happen to pull back towards this demand zone and then give an entry opportunity, then definitely this one could be a very good strike. So I am bullish on the pound USD, right? So you can actually be going right now on the 1 minute to be looking for trades, right? In terms of this zone, which is slightly bit more aggressive, right? So if it comes in right here, aligns bullish, then I will be looking to long. So let's see if by the end of the session we were provided with a long setup from here. But overall, I would be really looking to long from this zone and then get a nice like 50% pullback. So guys, GBP long, very nice. Took this low, took Asian low liquidity, showing us the reversal. So I do think we can start having some longs. So let me know what you think. Are you already long or are you looking to long the pound? GJ, it's going to be similar to all the JPYs, right? It's just pulling back. And there is no way for us to know where it's going to stop. So we can just like wait for it. And as I said, like every 15-minute alignment down could be a potential short opportunity. But this is also not very good because again, you can have many of them, right? So as the market is like traveling up, it can give you an alignment, then it will go down, right? So it goes up, give you an alignment, then again go up, right? So it's still in this pullback stage. And this is why you also need the higher time frame, right? And you also need a higher time frame zone, which we do not have right now. So yeah, pretty much you can see here, like yesterday it was this zone. So this zone actually got respected, but yeah, well, pretty much guys, it's a range. So let's not make it complicated. The market made this push. So this was the high I was supposed to break, but the market actually ended up, okay, yeah, this is insane. Like it just took it out by very, very, very little. But even if you take it like this, then you immediately align bullish and then you take your long from here. So I do believe 2 longs. So 1 long from here, maybe 1 long you could have taken here yesterday on the pound, on GJ, retest, and right now continuation. So what we have right now is the fresh break. We have also a fresh demand zone. So this can already be giving a setup. Unfortunately, it's not because the major 1-minute structure is up there and you gotta wait for this one to break. So pretty much the scenario that could happen is we can pull back for a new lower low. Then if it aligns, then we can look to long. But again, the GBPs are currently looking like longs, right? So both GJ and GU are looking like longs. So I would focus on longing the GBPs. So hopefully that makes sense. I am not trading Euro GBP. I just don't see much value of trading it. This one is usually very choppy. I just don't like this pair. So I'm not looking at it at all. But what we can see is that we had a very nice liquidation above the Asian high, then massive rush lower, which means that the euro is weaker than the pound. And yeah, we pretty much can see it, right? Euro is doing nothing and the pound is just exploding up right now. So definitely makes sense, right? GOAT. I know a lot of you guys love GOAT and trade GOAT. Personally, I don't. But same analysis remains, right? We had a nice push exiting outside of this demand zone. We're currently pulling back towards the higher low formation. We're in a very nice and very corrective pullback, which is always good to see. So then if we drop on the 50-minute time frame, I'm going to be looking for the market to come in deeper inside this zone, right? Just because, again, if you have a high time frame zone, which is like a 4-hourly zone, and then you have a lower time frame zone on the 50-minute, and both of them are in alignment, that is when you get the high probability trade, right? So don't try to trade here. Like, for example, some of you could have taken like longs from here. Like, why would you take a long from here where you're like in the middle of nowhere? So again, wait for this zone to tap and then wait for your setups. So currently, this market is currently bearish on the 50-minute time frame, right? It's currently pulling back to respond from this one. If you feel very aggressive, which you should not, you can be, yeah, this one came all the way towards breaking it. You can already be short on this one by simply following this setup. Man, everything else provides opportunity, but not EU. So that could be a pretty good setup as well. I don't know if gold moves in London session, but that would be a trade that actually ticks my rules. Unfortunately, probably not, because we are already, if I just draw my 4-hourly range, we're already below 50%. We're already very close to tapping the demand zone. So the closer you get, like the lower you get from the 50% and the closer you get to the demand zone, the probability of going short decreases. Because anytime the market could have actually tapped the zone already and it can start pushing up. Okay, but hopefully we can have another tap right there to come deeper into that zone. And then if we start trending higher, then I do think gold can continue going bullish. If, of course, that risk-on sentiment keeps going on, which we're right now going to explore on the indices. So that is gold. Maybe I do expect another leg towards the downside. I will be very happy if this one actually goes on, makes a new lower low, and gives us a long alignment right there so we can start going long. Indices. No trades on the indices yesterday because it was a bank holiday in the US, so you don't want to be trading when the liquidity and volume is low. Same analysis remains for me on US30. I am looking for this liquidity target to be fulfilled, which is just this little structural high right there. We have this very nice fresh demand. The market pushed and right now it's pulling back. And as you can see, we haven't yet tapped the 50%. So currently I'm expecting a short. Did our short work out? Okay, no, it was a break even. So we had a short in the morning that resulted in a break even. So currently this is where the 50-minute kind of aligned bearish, but then you can see we aligned bullish, but then you can see we also aligned bearish. So it's an overall consolidation, right? I want you to focus on this little low right there. So you can see we have a push, we have a pullback. So this was supposedly about to be a new higher low formation. What does a higher low formation usually do? It goes on to make a new higher high, right? And if a potential higher low formation fails to take out a new high, then it usually becomes weak and it becomes liquidity. So what I want to say with this is that I have a little projection right there that we are going to be taking this low. Maybe today. Yeah, probably it's going to be today, right? Maybe later today, because I don't see much sense in the market actually reversing from here. It could definitely happen. Don't get me wrong. But I personally would love, like, it's logical for me to come down to take out this low as liquidity and then from here to align. Not to say that I would love to see the market even come right there, but at least I would like to see this taken and then to have a look at the bullish reversal. Like this morning, the trade we took was a very simple scalp, and we usually go break even very fast on US30. It was this trade right there. This, right? So it went. My other screen, it went 2 hour, and this one it does not. Okay, so yeah, this one is probably a break even or a loss. So I have to check out with Greg, who took it from the community. But yeah, so right now technically we are again shifting bullish on the 50 minutes, so we gotta be waiting. So you can go long right now, but I wouldn't suggest going long because again, you don't have much like confluences for that. You don't have the liquidity gap, you don't have the 4-hourly zone. So two outcomes, of course. We can go long from here. Maybe this is enough of a pullback to start going long, or we take out this low, then we align for longs, and then we start going long. And why am I calling on longs? Is because the 4-hourly time frame is bullish, right? So that is pretty much US30. Nasdaq, I don't look at Nasdaq. I'm looking at US30 the most, right? I know a lot of you are trading Nasdaq, but it's pretty much the same, right? It's tapping into demand zone right now. It kind of gave a reaction, but it failed to take out the high. So I can actually forecast that same scenario. Because if this low right there failed to go on and take out the high, then it means it's weak, right? It didn't cause anything. So you can see similar occasion right there. They pretty much moved together. We had a breakout structure at the lows. We had a breakout structure at the highs. And we could have actually already like taken a little long from here. And yeah, right now it looks like it's forming like a bullish 50-minute structure, right? So if you're feeling risky, you can go on and take a long from here. But yeah, again, personally, I would love for this low to be taken, but I do not exclude the possibility of us reversing from this kind of zone right there. We took out the Asian low, we aligned bullish, we're bullish on the 4H. This one also looks like it tapped 50%. Yeah, look at that. So this one actually kissed the 50%. It tries to push. So you have usually two outcomes on this one. If such a high like fails to take out the new higher high, it's either going to come in like this, right, to grab liquidity like this, or it's going to do this, right? It's going to grab it as liquidity, which usually then fuels a much bigger move. So currently we could be having this situation, like a pullback towards this higher low, right? You can see US30. It also came back to retest this low, and right now it's responding. Nasdaq as well. So again, keep your mind open. S&P. Same story. We're pushing, we're pulling back, and again, holding from this kind of zone. So are we going to break below this low today and then get the alignment, or are we start going to align from here? I don't know, right? I don't know. My focus goes on US30, so let's see. A lot of you wanted Bitcoin. I have no opinion on Bitcoin, right? So I don't know why this happens. I just presume that it's going to take out some liquidity, right? I don't think that this is the bottom, but of course it definitely could be. Who knows? Because we were like in a very long period of consolidation right there, like very, very long period of consolidation that took like almost, pretty much 130 days. It's not half a year, but still. Then you can see 1 week of massive liquidation. So do you know how many people were long? Right there, this is the bottom, this is the bottom. Maybe some people actually put leverage behind it. They had like their stop loss below. Bang, all of them got liquidated. Then what happens next is we have another 60 days of consolidation, and then all of a sudden the market starts to expand, right? If you just go back in time, we had a big expansion here. We had a, yeah, well, I went way too much on the left, but usually we have like a little bit of an expansion here and there to just like grab some liquidity. We had it right there, like again, range, we expanded up, but then we dropped, right? So expand up, right now we're expanding up. So I don't think it's the bottom, but still, if we actually break above this structure, which we are currently about to do, the weekly time frame is going to turn bullish. So then you can start speculating that we could potentially be like start looking for longs. But again, this is Bitcoin. I don't trust it yet, so I have not much of an opinion about it, right? Wyckoff guys can potentially spot like maybe a Wyckoff scenario right there. I don't trade Wyckoff, so I'm not sure how it works. But currently we're tapping inside this major supply. It already looks like it's gonna break it. So if it breaks it, then I'm gonna be interested to see if we can have a pullback and if we can start having like a little bit of a short-term bullishness. So I would say there is nothing wrong in following the current momentum, which is bullish. Not right now, because right now we're just chopping into the supply zone. So give it some time, wait for it to break, then wait for it to pull back, and then wait for it to again align and start pushing higher. Exactly what we do with Forex, right? The strategies apply on every single instrument. And again, Ethereum as well, tapping into this major supply zone right now. So it's again the decision point. Are we going to break above? This is not even a major zone, right? Because if I drop on the weekly, this is the weekly range. That's the push. All of this again is just internal. So what we can do is we can come in, take liquidity, and then drop again. So again, we don't know. Don't throw any outcomes. Don't say that this is the bottom. You never know, right? So curious to see how it's going to respond from this zone. And then of course, from there, we're going to be adapting. So let me see what is going on in the chat. I really want to put my chat on the charts. You can make a one video how to enter in the 1 minute. Yeah, soon in my series, I can definitely touch on that. Greetings from Eindhoven, Maru. Let's meet up. I'm long on GU, same analysis with you. Have a limit set already at the lower zone. Beautiful, Lewis. So let's go have a look. Okay, you stepped up your game this year. I will subscribe. EJ, why haven't you subscribed by now? BTC often do these kind of moves. I think the first high liquidity. Let's see what happens. Yeah, exactly, Dylan. So don't throw your opinion way too much, right? Just wait to see what's gonna happen. And again, according to me, it's gonna be fine if like the 40 time frame starts to trend very nice. I mean, even from here, if you're just solely trading like 4H on Bitcoin, you can see it broke down here, then it broke up right there, but then it gets messy. So this is why I don't trade, because of these kind of things. These kind of things, right? But then you can see break a structure up, pull back, higher low, expansion, higher low, expansion, higher low, expansion, right? It starts to trend. So you pretty much have to know when to get in. Okay, so you will make a video how to confirm break of structure. Okay, so I already explained this a little bit before, right? That I take wicks as breaks, right? And I explained why, but I'm gonna do this in a separate educational video. So I'm gonna be ending up here, guys. Again, so you can see right now DXY broke the structure down, so my desired outcome did not play out. I really wanted to see this high to break, so then I can start looking for the short. So probably I'm not gonna be trading today in this massive range. Euro USD as well. Like you can see, it came in right here, response, but again, this is all internal structure. So you could be looking to take like a short, aggressive short trade based on the liquidity gap of this high. Right, so if you go on the 1 minute, you get the alignment, you can be short. But personally, this is not into my plan, right? So I'm looking for something more. The JPYs, again, like EJ and UJ are currently the nicely short bias. So you can examine that. In the meantime, like AJ is also about to be breaking, right? And also probably NJ is about to be breaking. GBP USD was pretty good for potential longs. What is happening on this one? Let's check it out. Yeah, I really like. So somebody said, I think it was not Dylan. Yeah, Lewis. He said he's going long right now on the GBP. Let's see how it plays out. Personally, you can actually be looking to long even from here. Right, so you can see we actually took this low right now. So if the 1 minute aligns, then that could be a quick scalp. Maybe just to try it out to see if this zone is gonna hold. But once again, this zone looks much better. So let's see if the pound pairs are gonna appreciate. So that's pretty much it. On the indices, I'm going to be looking for this one to definitely take out the low. Like, look at the reaction. So right now it could start giving longs. But again, knowing that not enough liquidity has been gathered in order to go long, I would personally be looking for this low and then to potentially start taking the longs in US30. So that's how I'm going to conclude it, guys. Again, type in the chat if you have any ideas to keep this a little bit more like engaging. I'm going to find a way to put my chart, to put my chat on the screen so that I can actually have a look at what you're typing, and then we can keep it a bit more interactive without me having to go like left and right. So yes, great analysis. Welcome, Ashim. So really hope you guys enjoyed it. We're going to be doing this every Tuesday. I have something else that we can look into every Monday as well to kickstart the week. So yes, and stay tuned for more educational content. I'm definitely working hard on that. I'm going to start posting very soon. So wishing you a lovely week, guys. Again, follow your plan. Make sure to stick to the market structure. Follow market structure. Don't marry any biases. Just wait for your proper setups, and it's all gonna be good. Okay, Victor enjoyed it. Very glad. All right, guys. I'm gonna be ending the stream. Hopefully, I still need to learn how market structure works. So, Kes, I have lots of video on market structure, and I break down market structure every single week in the weekly outlooks. So definitely make sure to check that out. Right, and I'm going to be publishing more. Welcome. And if you have any ideas, guys, or any questions for videos, just type them in the chat. I'm going to try to keep this video live, so maybe people that didn't tune in can rewatch it. So yeah, let's see. Have a crushing day, have a crushing week, guys, and talk to you very soon. Yeah, see you next week. Bye-bye.